welcome back. So in this video, or in this lesson, we're going to be building a more complex AI agent that will be working with Zendesk and Slack. So this is the one that I demoed earlier on in this AI kind of few lessons here. It's the one where when a ticket is sent via Zendesk, our agent will automatically classify this and forward it to the correct Slack channel. And then as a developer or support agent, we can tell the other agent to update this ticket via the chat window here. So we're going to build the second agent in the next video, but in this video, we're going to build out the first one. So before we actually go over and create a new agent, I want to show you the resources for this lesson. So if you purchase this on Udemy, you can refer to the instructions here. And if you are on a WAP subscription plan, I will have documentation listed for this. So the first thing you want to reference is, of course, on lecture 14, you want to look at the description. So right here below where it says references, these are all the instructions for this agent. So I'm going to head down here and copy all of that. So go over to the lecture description and then highlight and copy everything below there besides this first line. So copy everything down here. These are the instructions that we're going to feed into the agent, just because it's going to save a lot of time from us having to manually write all this out. Of course, there are some fixes we have to do, because if you look here where it says Slack send channel message, that's actually an action that we're going to have to manually implement. So we'll have to manually replace this with the actual action. So copy all that and let's head over to Zapier, head over to agents, and then let's create a new agent. So clicking new agent, and we're going to skip this step just because we already have the instructions, and let's click on paste. So we have all of our instructions now. Of course, as mentioned, we will have to replace these actions with actual actions just because this is just text. So we'll have to replace that. Now let's go over to add trigger, and I'm going to search Zendesk. So make sure you make a Zendesk account. It is free, or at least you can do a free trial because that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to select Zendesk. I'm going to say when there's a new ticket, to trigger this agent. Show all options, organization. This is the organization that I made, so CTA. Click on save. Now, if it asks you for certain information on how to connect to Zendesk, you can head over to your Zendesk portal. It's going to ask you for your, your portal or your organization home. It's going to be this here, this URL, and then it's just .zendesk.com. So it's really, they're just looking for this. So that's the first thing. They want this right here, and then they want the email that you signed up for with Zendesk. And then the last thing we need is the API. So if you want to work with the API, you can come down here and click on this settings icon or this admin icon. So click on that, and then it will open a new page with all of your admin details. So then you're going to head over to apps and integration, and then you're going to look for APIs. So first, head over to Conversations API. So the first thing you want to do once heading down to APIs is clicking on API configuration, and then click Allow API Token Access, and then click Save. Next up, you want to head over to API Tokens, and then you want to add API token. So I'm going to actually just delete that or deactivate, and there we go. So now that you have your token and you know the URL you need to feed into it, which is just your Zendesk home portal URL name. So mine is CTA26737. And of course, you have to include the dash as well if yours is set up this way. So whatever is shown here is what you're going to copy. And then once you have signed up for Zendesk, you'll have a home portal like this with a bunch of sample tickets and then this ticket, which I sent in on my own. So let's head back into our Zapier AI agent. And now that you have your Zendesk linked up and connected, and again, if you have any problems with this, please let me know in the Discord or in the Udemy Q&A. And myself or someone else will help you out. Or if you want a faster answer, ChatGPT is always the go-to. All right, so now that we're in our instructions, we actually have to feed it some data. So I have some knowledge sources that I have linked to the instructions, and you can find those by heading over to Udemy and then heading down to the resources for this lecture. So lecture 14 has the below resources: IT support PDF, bug support PDF, and then billing support PDF. So these three files here, you can download them and then upload them into the AI agent. So that's what I'll be doing, and that's where you can find the resources. So let's just go down the list. So when a new support ticket is created in Zendesk, extract the subject and body content from the new support ticket. Then we're going to send the extracted content to an AI model to summarize the issue and classify it into categories such as the following. So if it classifies it as billing, then route the ticket or email to the billing department or a designated billing Slack channel, which is billing support Slack or billing support and then Slack send channel message. So we need to replace this with an action. So I'm going to click add tools and I'm going to find Slack. Let's click Slack and we want send channel message. Let's click on that. All right, so now we have this, but now we have to specify the channels. So if you head over to Slack, if you're following along and you're using Slack as well, I made a section called tickets. And again, you can create a section just by right clicking channels, create section. So that's what I do with tickets. I made this ticket section and then I right click tickets and said create channel. And then I just made these 4 channels: billing support, development support, general support, IT support. So these will all have to line up exactly with what I put, just because that's how I set up this agent to look for these channel names. All right, let's head back to our agent. And right here we say send channel message. So we then have to click on the channel and then we're going to say, let your agent select a value from one of these choices. So you're probably wondering, why don't I just do set a specific value for this field and then select the channel? So for example, I could just do billing support here, click save. And now it says, okay, we will send this to billing support. But you can't do that because if I make another one of these Slack actions here, so for example, right here, we need a Slack action. If I do Slack send channel message, and if I click on the setting icon here, you can see that the channel it's set to is billing support. So if I update one, it updates all. So if I just type in IT support and click save, now this one over here is also IT support. So that's why we don't set it to a specific value unless you're only working with one channel. But if you have multiple channels, you're going to say let your agent select a value from one of these choices. So click on that and then click on choose value and scroll down and select all of your ticket related channels. So development support, billing support, IT support, and general support. So basically what this means is our AI agent is going to read the ticket and then based on how the ticket sounds like and what it might be classified as, it will send a message to the correct channel. So if it sounds like an IT support ticket, it's going to send the ticket over to the IT support Slack channel. If it sounds like a billing support related question, it's going to send it over in the billing support channel. So that's all that's happening here. Let's click on save. So you'll start to see a theme here and I should enter a blank row or a blank line right here just to make it a little easier. We have these 3 different paragraphs of text. So one paragraph of text is for the billing support, the other is for IT support. Now, if the ticket doesn't match any of those, I say send it to the general support Slack channel if it doesn't fit any of the above criteria. Now, I believe this / was just a mistype on my part. I meant to say Slack send channel message, and there we go. Okay, so there's only one more Slack send channel message we have to update, and it's right here. And again, I'm just doing a / and then my most recent action is right here. So I'm gonna click on that. Now we have all of the send channel messages set up. The next thing we have to do is upload our PDFs. So right here, we're saying also reference our knowledge base for billing related questions to send to billing support as to what may help. So given the context of the ticket, and then I have my PDF here. So what I'm gonna do here is highlight this. I'm gonna click on delete. I'm going to do / I'm going to say add tools and upload a CSV or PDF. And this is where you're going to go download the files I mentioned earlier. So make sure you download these 3 PDFs. And this one will be the billing support PDF. So click upload file and I'm uploading my billing support PDF. So then click add data source. All right, perfect. So now we just have to do that 2 more times. We're going to get the bug support PDF. So same thing, we're gonna say upload file. Actually, let's not do that just because that's the same one we've already done. So let's just click on add tools, upload CSV or PDF. And I believe this one was the bug support one. Let me verify. We're on the second paragraph. Yep, it's the bug support PDF. Let me go back and upload file. And there we go. I've uploaded the bug support PDF. I'm going to click add data source. And now we only have one more, and it is our IT support ticket. So /, and I'm going to click on add tools, upload CSV. And then once this loads, we're going to click on upload. And then we're going to drop in our IT support PDF. All right, there we go. So I've got my last knowledge source document uploaded, and that should be everything. We should be good. I don't think I'm missing anything. So let's run through the instructions again and the trigger. So trigger is whenever a ticket is submitted via Zendesk, and we're going to say once a support ticket is created, extract the subject and body content from the support ticket. Next up, it's going to send the content to an AI model to summarize the issue and classify it into categories such as one of the following. Now we could actually update this, and I'm going to update this on Udemy, so you'll get the updated version, but it's going to be IT support. Okay, so I just updated the resources here, so you'll have the updated document. Let's head back. So now we have the instruction to classify it as one of the following. If it classifies it as billing, do the following, where it sends the ticket details to our billing Slack channel, and it references our billing support guide. Same thing down here. So if the ticket is classified as a bug, then it sends it to our bug support, and it references our bug support PDF. And finally, if it classifies the ticket as an IT support ticket, it sends the ticket info to our IT support channel, and it references our IT support guide. Everything else that is not meeting the above criteria will be sent to the general support Slack channel. Our expected outcome: support tickets or emails are automatically summarized, classified, and routed to appropriate department or Slack channel based on category. And it's not really emails, so we can get rid of that. So one more update to my resources here. Because we're not working with emails, we're working with our Zendesk tickets. I just never updated that. All right, so we should be good to test it. I'm going to enable this agent. I'm not going to do any testing in the preview. I'm just going to full on hope that this works. So let's head over to Zendesk and let's click to make a new ticket. So I'm going to click on the add icon at the top left. Just click on that. And now we have a new ticket. I'm going to label this requester as, I don't know, I'm going to add a user. We're going to say the name is Alex Smith, I guess. Oh, that's the email. We'll say Alex Smith at Alex Smith. Actually, I think that's what failed last time. Let me just do Alex, or let me just do my email, I guess. Let's do the email I've been using for this course just to ensure nothing fails. We're going to say the user type is end user, which might be a little confusing just because it's the same email I signed up for this with, but whatever. Let's click add. All right, email's already in use. Let's use something else. Okay, so I used a different email. Now we have our ticket ready to be, I guess, written up and sent over. So assignee, I'm not going to do anything with that. Tags, I'm not going to label anything. I'm just going to fill out the ticket. I'm going to say I'm trying to, let's say I'm trying to buy, I don't know if I have any information related to op subscription. I don't think I do. I'm not sure. I'm going to say I'm trying to buy the futures trading course, but can't figure out how. Can you help me? So let me just submit that ticket and see what it labels it as. Subject, oops, I'm going to say trying to purchase a course. All right, let's submit it. Okay, so now that our ticket has been submitted, we should expect to see our agent route this over to our Slack channel. There should be no automatic replies, but it should get routed to one of our Slack channels. So we'll give it a moment to pop up and see where it goes. Now, of course, we will need to create this second agent before we see any type of replies in Zendesk. So our second agent will actually be listening to these channels, and then it will reply back to the end user based on the messages that we've sent here. So I'll just give my agent a little more time to read this ticket and then to throw it into Slack. So it looks like our agent has finally read, or I guess not finally, it's only been like a minute. It's now read the ticket, and it is searching for purchasing courses, payment troubleshooting steps, searching for this guide, loading content from our support guide, and it has the analysis of report here. Let me check Slack. Okay, so it does look like we got the ticket, and it did send it to billing support, which is accurate. This was supposed to go to billing support, so good job there. Subject, trying to purchase a course from this end user description, I'm trying to buy the futures trading course, but can't figure out how. And then down here, this is strictly for our developers. It is the support guidance. So for our or not for our end users, but for our developers and our support team, they can read these steps to have an idea of what they could try. So the first method is, or the first thing you could try is looking at payment method issues. So if the users experience a failed payment, guide them on how to update their payment method in their account settings. Once they update it, the service should be reactivated automatically. We also have some duplicate charges to look at that, or general troubleshooting to verify payment details, and escalation if the issue persists. Escalate to the billing team. Well, this is just guidelines. I mean, technically we are the billing support team, but whatever. All right, let's head back to agents, and let's actually not agents. Let's go to Zendesk and let's make a new ticket. And this one will be different. Let's see. I want to do another one from Alex. Let's do subjects. We'll say I have IT support in bug. Let me see if we can find bug. I'm going to say, let's say course name is not correct. Maybe let's see what that throws it in as. The Power Platform course has a typo in the course title. Let's just submit this ticket. I'm not sure if it's going to label as a bug or general support. In my opinion, either or would be fine. I wouldn't really care which one it's placed under. I guess bug would probably make more sense, as the development team would have to fix that typo. That's just what I'm thinking. And let's say, remember we have IT support, we have bug support, and billing support. So let me try one for IT support, just to try to make sure everything gets routed correctly. I'm gonna say that I'm trying to view the Udemy courses, but the videos keep, I guess, going black, or the screen maybe, or the video. Yeah, I guess that's fine. But the videos keep going to a black screen, I guess. Maybe that sounds fine. I just bought, let's say, the generative AI course, but every time I start watching the lessons, the screen goes black. So let's submit that. And there we go. Now I've got 3 tickets in queue. Let me head back to the Slack channel and let's just wait for these to get pushed through. I just realized that I've been saying look for bug support when we don't even have a bug support. We have development support. So it still found it correctly. That's funny. Wow, okay. Let me fix that. And let me make sure I fix this in Udemy as well so you do not have this issue. Billing support, development support, and IT support. Okay. I didn't even notice that. So let's go and rename this to development support. Let me also add a space between these so you know to replace that action. All right, let's click save. Okay, so we have our 3 channels and let's head back to Slack. It did send this over correctly. The user reported a typo in the course title for Power Platform. Perfect. Confirm the exact typo where it appears. Escalate to content management, provide screenshots and correct the title. Yeah, all these recommend actions make sense to me. I think these actions are completely normal. I think they make sense. So now we're just waiting on one more ticket. It should be sent to IT support, but I'll see what the AI agent does. Let me go back to all activity and see where we're at. It looks like it's in progress and we're now sending the message over. It's looking at bug support though. Okay, so it's not seeing that as IT support, but more or less as bug support. And I think that could be accurate. IT support, not super relevant with these types of tickets or with these types of knowledge sources that I'm providing. When you think of IT support, you more or less think of you're not able to get internet connectivity or your account doesn't have access to view this stuff. But when you're thinking of the video is just not displaying, well, that could be a bug rather than, IT support. I guess it is kind of tricky on how I'm telling the agent to classify these, but overall, I'd say it classified these pretty accurately. And honestly, I think it throwing it under development support may make more sense, but in the end, it's kind of difficult. It could be a bug with the Udemy video player, or it could also be IT related. So in this case, I would probably say in a real world scenario, the development team should work with the IT team to resolve that. So AI agents, or with the Zapier AI agent for the Zendesk and Slack configuration, it worked pretty good. I think it did really well here. And now we're gonna go and build the second part of the agent in the next video, where we'll be able to actually reply to these, and then the messages or updates will be sent over back to our end user. So I will see you guys in the next video where we'll build our second AI agent.